What is up, everybody? Welcome to lesson 38. We'll start with the audio. I'm teacher Willie. We are here in our intermediate 1 class, and I am going to try and speak as much English as possible. Remember, if you have a question, make sure you raise your hand or say something. If your camera isn't open, then make sure that you say something and I will repeat it. So we'll just wait. We have one more student getting here right now. There's Laura. And here we go. First time, don't look. Hi, Laura. I feel like calling you Laura today. Here we go. Lesson 38. You can find the audios at acesenglish.bandcamp.com. And there you will find all of the audios from lesson 31 to lesson 60, all of the intermediate 1 and intermediate 2 audios. So here we go.
Mrs. Souza está viajando novamente a Nova York e encontra amigo americano na rua. Listen to their conversation.
Hi, Katie.
Hey, Liam. Great to see you again.
Yes, great to see you too. How long have you been in New York?
Not long, since yesterday.
You have to come to our house.
I'd love to, but I don't know if there's enough time.
Oh, please. We can have a fast dinner party tonight.
All right then. At what time? I'm only staying until tomorrow morning.
Do you prefer at 7 or 8 o'clock?
7 is perfect because I have to pack later.
All right. See you at 7 then.
See ya.
Okay. What did you understand? Who wants to start? Thank you, Sinonato, for volunteering. Obrigado por se voluntariar.
Two friends. I don't remember how I say encontraram.
So they met. It could be met if they, have like a meeting, or they saw each other. Probably would be most common would be two friends saw each other.
Yes, two friends met in New York, a man and a woman, and a woman stay in New York for 2 days.
Okay.
And the man invite a woman to fast dinner party in your house.
In my house? Ele convidou ela para a minha casa?
No, in his house.
His house. Ah, that's
His
right.
house.
That's right.
His
okay.
house. And then she said that don't have much time because she returned her house.
Okay.
Tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And she meet at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Tonight, 7 o'clock.
Okay. Very good. Very good. So let's look. You said she said that she, I forgot already. I forgot what you said. So, but she said that she didn't have a lot of time, right? So you said she said that she don't have. So it would be doesn't if it were present, but it's past. So she said that she didn't have a lot of time, or she didn't have much time because she was going to return. So if you say tomorrow, it means our tomorrow, right? But we don't know when this is. So she was going to return the next day.
Yes.
She was going to return the next day because it's tomorrow to her, but for us, it's not tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Nice job. Well done. Anything to add, Taina? Laura, Glassy, anything to add? It was
No,
pretty
teacher.
complete. It was pretty complete.
Nonato
Glassy?
falou tudo.
Depois dessa tradução toda aí.
Se me
Nonato,
entendi.
exemplar. Parabéns.
Só ela precisava PEC lá, né?
Isso, o que é pack? To pack. É tipo
To
voltar?
pack.
Ah,
What is to pack? Glassy knows.
Fazer as malas, eu acho.
Fazer as malas, arrumar as malas. Yes, good.
ok.
So to pack, I think that's the only thing. Lesson 39, Nonato is going to teach. Okay, so Nonato, be ready to teach lesson 39.
No, Glassy is very good teacher.
All right, very nice. Let's look. Vamos olhar.
Hi, Katie.
Hey, Liam. Great to see you again.
Yes, great to see you too. How long have you been in New York?
Not long, since yesterday.
You have to come to our house.
I'd love to, but I don't know if there's enough time.
Oh, please. We can have a fast dinner party tonight.
All right then. At what time? I'm only staying until tomorrow morning.
Do you prefer at 7 or 8 o'clock?
7 is perfect because I have to pack later.
All right. See you at 7 then.
See ya.
Okay, any questions? So we have this to pack. If I just say to pack, it's understood that I'm talking about my luggage, my baggage. Okay, if I just say I need to pack, it's understood. But I can say I need to pack a lunch. Preciso arrumar almoço, aquela coisa de brown bags, aquelas sacolas marrons dos filmes, right? So I need to pack a lunch. I'm going to pack a picnic, right? Daí você arruma as coisas, comida e cobertor, coisas para piquenique. Pack your things, you're fired. É alguma coisa que você não quer ouvir, right? Daí you pack a box, você pega uma caixa e coloca suas coisinhas lá dentro e tchauzinho. So pack your things, you're fired. And you can also pack boxes when you move. Sorry, I can't go out tonight because I have a lot of boxes to pack because I'm moving tomorrow. So if you just say to pack, it means you're going to go on a trip. You're getting your luggage ready. But then if there are other things you can pack, but usually you say what it is: pack a box, pack a lunch, pack a picnic, the other things, then you say those if specifically when you're going to get those things ready.
Teacher,
Yep, sure.
multiuso word. Bom, teacher, é o seguinte, a fast dinner party, to me or for me, I don't know. To me, it seems like a fast dinner, but it's not.
Right. So a dinner party is special. Is special. Sometimes there's many times there are other things happening. Either it's a group of people and you make a special meal and then you drink wine or something afterwards and you talk, or some people play games. They play board games, right? You have a dinner you have dinner and then afterwards you play board games or you play charades.
Board games?
Board games. I forgot how you say that. The ones you put on the table. Jogo de mesa, you know.
Nossa.
Yeah,
board,
yeah.
Board games?
Board games. Board, because it's a board. Aquela a tábua.
Board é quadro.
Ou tábua. Right? So, se você pensar que a coisa antigamente era feita de madeira, onde você colocava os pedaços. Então era uma tábua. Então board games.
Games de jogo.
De jogo, yeah.
Tá, jogo de board.
Até não é jogo tabuleira, alguma coisa assim que fala em português. Eu vi porque eu tava
Não, é jogo
procurando.
americano que a gente chama, né? Só que agora é de plástico. Antigamente era de madeira, então. Acho que é mais por aí.
Yeah.
Fica um jantar meio chique.
Quando eu procurei no Amazon, acho que falou alguma coisa assim, jogo tabuleira, sei lá o quê. Yeah. Okay, good. Good question. Any other questions? Laura, ask a question.
Nessa parte 8 aí que ele fala stay until. I'm only stay
Aham.
until. O que que significa?
Eu estou apenas ficando até tomorrow morning.
Ok.
Amanhã de manhã. See,
Ficando
good
até.
question. Mhm. So usually until means até. We usually use until to say até. Tanan, question?
Teacher, o senhor acabou de falar que, para ela, a tradução, que eu estou apenas ficando.
Aham.
Mas na aula 34, o senhor disse que only a tradução é só, não? E apenas seria just.
Só, somente e apenas. As três.
Não, mas não é just, que é só, somente, apenas?
Good question. Tanto just quanto only significam só, somente e apenas. São sinônimos.
Não, é porque eu lembro do senhor falando que quando eu quiser enfatizar que é só aquilo, eu vou usar só o only, porque o just
Yeah,
significava os três, entendeu?
isso. Não é por isso. Os dois significam os três. O que acontece e a razão que nós usamos mais only e quando nós usamos somente only é quando just, que também significa acabou de acontecer, pode dar confusão. So, por exemplo, I just ate significa o quê? Significa eu acabei de comer ou eu somente comi?
Sim.
Não, qual desses?
O que fala de novo?
I just ate. O que significa?
I just ate, pode ser
Aham.
eu acabei de comer, né? Ou eu
Acabei
só
de
comi
comer,
também.
ou eu só comi. Então, nesse
É.
caso, é melhor se você quiser falar eu só comi, ou eu somente
Tá.
comi, ou apenas comi, é melhor usar only, onde não dá essa confusão.
Entendi. Ok.
Very good question.
Obrigada.
You're so
Professor,
welcome. Yo.
nesses 7 que você até já falou, fast dinner pair tonight, quer dizer, tipo aqui seria um jantar rápido?
Yeah, geralmente porque essas festinhas, right? Geralmente demoram. Geralmente alguma coisa você come, fica conversando, talvez bebe um vinho, um whisky, alguma coisa assim. Fazer joguinhos, jogar cartas, fazer. Então, o que ele está dizendo? Ela estava meio dizendo, não dá, porque não tenho tempo. Daí ele está dizendo, não, please. Basicamente, nós podemos fazer rapidamente. É o que ele está sugerindo, que seja mais. Sabe o que vai acontecer, provavelmente, principalmente se tiver qualquer brasileiro lá. Vai demorar, todo mundo vai ficar feliz e vai jogar a noite inteira e todo mundo vai sair feliz, mas ela vai ter que correr para arrumar as malas.
Tá.
All right. Good questions, everybody. Nice job. Okay, let's repeat. Make sure the mics are off. Okay, let's repeat. Hi, Katie. Hey, Liam. Great to see you again. Yes, great to see you too. How long have you been in New York? Not long, since yesterday. You have to come to our house. I'd love to, but I don't know if there's enough time. Oh, please, we can have a fast dinner party tonight. All right then, at what time? Quem pode me dizer a tradução de all right then, que é uma das coisas, minhas coisas favoritas para dizer em português? Não, eu fechei os microfones, não ouvi.
Tudo bem.
Tudo bem, então?
Eu diria tudo bem.
Yeah, eu diria, então tá, right? Porque then é então, e all right é tá, então tá. All right then. É invertido, mas acaba sendo a mesma coisa de então tá. Eu adoro falar, então tá. Isso é perfeito. Nós precisamos de então tá em inglês. Precisamos de então tá e nós precisamos de pois é. Pois é. Principalmente como diziam quando eu estava no interior, lá no Rio Grande do Sul, em Passo Fundo, tchê. Eles falavam isso direto. Pois é, do jeito de... Pois é. Foi bom demais. Ok. At what time? I'm only staying until tomorrow morning. Do you prefer at 7 or at 8 o'clock? Seven is perfect because I have to pack later. All right, see you at 7 then. See ya. Senhor Nonato, como é que pronuncia arrumar as malas? Pode ligar, abrir o microfone?
To pour.
To add de apple, pack. Pack.
Pack.
Pack. Glaci, pack.
Pack.
Tainá, pack.
Pack.
Good. Laura, pack.
Pack.
Very nice.
Pack.
All right.
Pack.
Good job. All right.
Quando eu
Here we
estava
go.
quando eu estava fazendo, eu achei que era parque.
Park.
Eu achei que era parque. Tem que ir para o
Yeah.
parque mais tarde.
Yes, I have an appointment in the park with the pigeons. Com as pombas. All right. Here we go. Thank you, Emily, for our slides today. I just did a little bit of additions, but she did a great job today, as usual. So welcome to lesson 38, the presentation part. I am teacher Willy. If you're looking for a different teacher, you're in the wrong place. You can follow me on Instagram at Prof. Willy Brasil or the school account aces.english. So in lesson 38, what are we going to see? Well, I'm glad you asked. We're going to see agreed, done, how we use those. We're going to see old, young, and new. It doesn't matter. Comparative versus superlative. That's kind of important. Trips, how we talk about trips, and muito mais. Muito mais. Não perca. So we will review in groups. We'll skip that part. And we have não importa. It doesn't matter. Everybody, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. Matter.
Yeah. So como apple, matter. It doesn't matter. This is what we use the most to say não importa. It doesn't matter. We also say it's not a big deal or it's no big deal. Okay, that's another way. It's not a big deal or it's no big deal. Probably of those two, it's no big deal is probably more used, which would be more like não é grande coisa, mas também pode ser não tem muita importância. É quase como não importa. Eu fiz alguma coisa e eu errei e alguém, oh, I can't believe you did that. No, it's no big deal. Não foi grande coisa. Combinado. Done. Como trato feito. What happened there? Combinado, done, como trato feito. Or agreed. Okay, so agreed é como, literalmente, é concordado. To agree é concordar. Done é literalmente feito. So, se você fizer acordo, like a business deal, you can say agreed. It's a little bit more technical, a little bit more formal. Done is more day-to-day. Okay, done. Let's do it. So done would be like trato feito. Agreed is like acordo feito or contrato assinado or something like that. A little bit more technical. And we have old. Okay, so oldies but goodies. Old and new. So we have old like velho, and we have old and new are opposites. Okay, so an old car, a new car, or we have, so old like old car, old thing, and then we have old like people and young. So we have, here we have the new like novo, carro novo, and here we have young like jovem. And they are both opposite of old. So old, velho como pessoa, young, jovem como pessoa, new, novo como carro, sorry, old, velho como carro e new, novo como carro. Question? Glassy, you look like you have a question. No? All right. Moving on to viagem. So the thing that we need to remember when we talk about trips is that trip is a noun when we talk about viagem, and only a noun. Travel, to travel is our verb. So that's number one. Number one, trip is the noun, travel is the verb. We cannot use trip to say viajar. We can only use trip to say viagem. That's number one. Number two, Americans, in my experience, Americans use trip more than they use travel. And in my experience, Brazilians use travel more than they use trip. Okay, so if you constantly say, I'm going to travel, I'm going to travel, I'm going to travel, it sounds a little bit strange. It's not wrong, it's correct, but it sounds a little bit strange because we usually talk about trip. We use trip in the sentence more than we use the verb to travel. But the important thing to remember is trip is noun, travel is verb. In fact, to trip means tropeçar. To trip is a verb, but it means tropeçar. So, I always wonder, eu sempre fico imaginando quantos brasileiros já falaram que tropeçaram até Nova York. Right? Porque querem usar trip, que é uma viagem, o verbo, daí pensa, a lógica diria que deveria ser, viajar deveria ser to trip, se uma viagem é a trip, mas não é tropeçar. E to travel é o que significa viajar. So don't say, I'm going to trip to New York. I'm going to trip to New York significa eu vou tropeçar até Nova York. I'm going to travel to New York. But better than I'm going to travel to New York is I'm going to take a trip to New York, or I'm going to go on a trip to New York. Now, we translate to take a trip and to go on a trip as fazer uma viagem. But notice, I don't have do, I don't have make, except here, a trip. So usually we don't say fazer uma viagem. We say levar uma viagem, tirar uma viagem, ir numa viagem, literalmente, right? Literalmente, são essas as versões mais usadas. Agora, to make a trip, eu coloquei asterisco, por quê? Porque geralmente quando falamos to make a trip, é aquelas viagens curtas. So, Glassy, when was the last time you bought groceries in your car? When was the last time you bought groceries in your car?
Yesterday.
Yesterday, good.
I make trips.
Okay,
né?
good. Yeah. So for people that don't know, groceries is food and things that you need for the kitchen. Okay, so groceries are food and things you need for the kitchen. When you buy groceries, most people, especially if you live in a building like Glassy does, if you have a lot, you might have to make 2 trips. So make 2 trips, meaning 2 relatively fast trips. Okay. Unless it's a business trip that you do a lot, and then you say, I make trips to London, or I make trips, but those are repeated trips that are usually shorter, like trips to your car to get your groceries. That when you use the elevator, not the lift, Class C. Did you say lift? Lift is British. We don't speak British English here.
É que eu não sabia qual usar.
Yeah, so trips, and you can also say I made 2 elevator trips. I made 2 elevator trips, or 2 trips in the elevator. You can say either one. But of course, we have to tease the British at least once per class. Okay, any questions on that? Do you have a question, senhor Renato? Eu estou vendo pouquinho de fumaça lá em Goiânia.
Teacher,
To go
como é
on
que
a
é?
trip.
Vamos, Nonato primeiro, daí Tainá, pode ser?
To go on a trip. I don't understand.
Ok, é traduzido como fazer uma viagem, mas literalmente significa ir numa viagem. To take a trip e to go on a trip, ambas das frases são traduzidas como fazer uma viagem.
Ok.
E to make a trip é literalmente fazer uma viagem, só que usamos mais para viagens rápidas ou repetidas muitas vezes. Good question. Taina, talk to me.
Como é que eu falo? Eu fiz com o to make, né? Que é uma
Yes.
viagem rápida. Foi 2 dias.
Ok?
Eu fiz uma viagem há 3 semanas atrás.
Ok, mas é alguma coisa que você repete?
Não repete.
Então
Mas
não
foi
vai ser
rápida,
make.
foi 2 dias.
Exato, mas é rápida e alguma coisa que você ou vai repetir ou tem o costume de repetir. Very good
Entendi.
question. Very good question.
Ok.
And how would you say that then? So where did you go?
When?
Where?
Where? Goiânia.
Goiânia, okay. Did you say hi to Nonato?
Não,
Did you see-
eu
did-
nem
you-
lembrei
you
que
didn't-
Nonato morava lá.
Ah, meu Deus. E ele nem te convidou para
Nem me convidou, Nonato, mas ele nem ficou sabendo, né, tadinho? Como é que
Tadinho.
You came to go for my house.
Ok.
You can go to my house. You can go to my house.
Onde,
I got
onde está a sua casa, senhor Nonato?
Near
Não,
Shop
mas
Flamboyant.
ok, mas de onde você o senhor está agora, onde está a sua casa? Está na sua casa ou não está na sua casa?
I stay in my house. I stay in my house.
You are in your house, right?
Right now, I stay here in my house.
Ok, so ela pode ir para a sua casa ou vir?
Come, né?
You go back to
can.
my house. You
You
go
can.
back to my house?
Ela já esteve lá?
No.
Okay, so let's line this up because this is very good. These are very good terms that we need. So you can go to my house. Diria se não estivesse na sua casa, right? Porque go é quando você vai para algum lugar onde a pessoa falando não estiver. Okay? So se estivesse na casa da sua família, filhos, qualquer coisa assim, você diria you can go to my house porque não estivesse na sua casa. Agora, se estiver como está agora, you can come to my house. Okay? Você pode vir para minha casa. Agora, quando falamos de voltar, nesse caso, ela já esteve na sua casa?
No.
Que o senhor saiba, nós sabemos que ela estava lá. Talvez, não sabemos o que ela estava fazendo.
Não.
Talvez ela...
Não.
não. Foi bem direto. Não foi. Ok, so nesse caso, não tem back, porque ela não pode voltar onde ela não foi. Ok? Não pode voltar para onde ela não foi. So, mas se ela estivesse na sua casa, you can come back, da mesma forma, porque você está na sua casa, you can come back to my house. Ou se o senhor estiver na casa de um filho, alguma coisa assim, you can go back to my house. Mas tem que cuidar com esse, porque se falar assim, a pessoa pode entender que pode ir lá sem o senhor. Agora. Right? You can go back to my house. You
Ô,
can come back to
teacher,
my house. You can come back to my house. Yep.
e eu quero saber qual que é, tipo assim, o bairro dele. What is your neighbor?
Neighbor é
Será?
vizinho.
Então,
Neighborhood.
como é que é
Very close.
quadra?
Very close. É só hood, como childhood. Como
Hood.
Como,
Como
hood.
escreve hood? Hood?
Robin Hood. Robin Hood.
Ah, H-O-O-D. D.
Good. Neighborhood, childhood. What is neighborhood? What is neighborhood?
Neighborhood?
Literally, it is vizinhança.
Vizinhança, isso.
É com C cedilha, né? Sei lá, vizinhança.
É.
Is that right? Okay. Childhood is what?
Não sei. Childhood.
Infância? Não sei.
Infância. Eu sempre pergunto porque eu nunca me lembro.
Eu estava tentando me lembrar.
E neighbor
assim?
é vizinho, né? Neighbor.
Yes.
Ok. Uhum.
Neighbor é vizinho, exactly. E child é?
Infância? Não, child é criança.
Criança, yeah.
Tá. A quadra, então, o bairro é só hood.
No, so neighborhood, você pode usar, por exemplo, aqui em Palmas nós temos quadras. Então, você pode usar, ou pode usar block, que é basicamente bloco ou quarteirão.
Sim. Então, se eu quero saber o do Nonato é what is your block?
Yeah, Goiânia tem bloco. Yeah,
É
se
bairro,
você,
eu acho, não é, Nonato?
é bairro.
Sei lá.
Yeah, não vai ser muita diferença se você falar block ou neighborhood. Go ahead,
Okay.
Nonato.
His is the bairro and street.
Okay. So
Street.
How do we
Rua.
literally
Bairro e
Street,
rua.
so how do we literally say bairro in English? Because bairro exists, but it's very rare. We say barrio, like in New York. New York has 5 barrios. Let's see if I can remember. Manhattan, Long Island, Brooklyn, Queens, and I can't remember. I can't remember the 5th one. Oh, that sucks. Anyway, they have 5 barrios. They're called barrios. Those are bairros. Those are the bairros of New York. I don't know. I think there are other cities that have them, but I don't know which cities have barrios or bairros. Most cities just have neighborhoods.
Aqui no Brasil, a maioria é bairros, né?
Right, but I'm talking about the United States.
É só Palmas que tem o quê?
Quadra.
Now, São Paulo, doesn't Brasília have quadra too?
Brasília também.
Yeah. So it's not just us. So, okay, here we go back. Good questions. Thank you, everybody. Those are awesome questions. So let's talk about comparatives versus superlatives, the battle of the ifs. Okay, so when we have comparatives, those are things we're comparing. We use bigger than. Okay, when we have superlatives, those are super big. They're the biggest. Okay, so bigger than, we're comparing 2 things. So it could be bigger than, smaller than, it could be faster than, it could be slower than. And then S, the biggest, is when it is the number 1 of all that are in the group. It's more than 2. So for example, look at this cute little dog. It's way too cute for me. You know Emily made this slide because this dog is way too cute for me. So we have this dog, number one. The dog is big. The dog is, so we have the butterfly, sorry. Number two is the butterfly. So we have the dog is big. We have the butterfly. The dog is bigger than the butterfly. That is comparative. We're comparing two things. The dog is bigger than the butterfly. With superlatives, this is the dog. And this is, so number one is the dog. Number two is the biggest dog. So he is the biggest dog of the whole group, more than two. If we have three, we already have biggest. Unless you say the dog, if we have three dogs, we can say the dog is bigger than him and him, or bigger than it and it. Okay, but usually we say he is the biggest dog. It's easier. So number one is the biggest dog of the whole group. What about if we have beautiful here? So it's the same rule as when we have comparatives. We use bigger because big is one syllable, right? What about beautiful? Do we say, let's say that the butterfly é mais bonita do que o cachorro? Who can help me? Is it beautifuler? What do we say? The butterfly is more beautiful. It's just like our rules with when we use comparatives. If we have one syllable, it's If we have two syllables and no Y, it's more. If we have a Y, it's change the Y to I, and then the irregulars. And we actually, ironically, we talked about that this morning in our basic class. If you want a review on the rules for comparatives, I'll put it up and to the right for afterwards when I remember. And you can look it up. It is lesson what? Lesson 16. You can look up lesson 16. In lesson 16, we talk about the different rules for the comparatives and when you should do what. When you use more, when you use ER, and the other rules. Okay, so bigger and biggest, and this goes for, like I said, for all of those adjectives: smaller, smallest, taller, tallest, fatter, fattest, all of those. So, and the key here is it's among others, right? It's not just two, it's among others, entre outros. Now let's talk about question tags. Okay, you can also, if you want to learn more about this, you can also look up tag questions. I prefer question tags, but I noticed that many teachers right now, it's in fashion to say tag questions, but I prefer question tags. So when we use question tags when we are confirming, it's uma confirmação. Okay? So, é uma pergunta que não é uma pergunta, é uma confirmação que não é uma confirmação. É quando nós temos né em português, right? Você vai comigo, né? Eu tô fazendo uma afirmação, mas também perguntando. Eu tô fazendo uma pergunta também afirmando. Okay? So, isso é quando nós usamos question tags. É como se fosse né. So, for example, when we have a confirmation, you want to eat, don't you? Você quer comer, não quer? Okay, so you want to eat. What happens? It's our né. Você quer comer, né? So we have this part that is positive. You want to eat. Then we have the comma. And then the question tag is the opposite. If this is an affirmation, this section is an affirmation, this section must be negative. I can't say, you want to eat, do you? It doesn't make sense. You want to eat, do you? It's like Portuguese. Você não fala, você quer comer, quer? Right? É você quer comer, não quer? Okay? Ou né, right? Né é o quê? Junção de não com é. Então é a mesma coisa, é negação. Now, if we have a negation, a negative sentence, negações, you don't want to eat is negative, then the comma and the end is positive. You don't want to eat, do you? Você não quer comer. Quer? You don't want to eat, do you? So the first part that we have to remember is that one side is the opposite of the other. If it's positive, then we go negative. If it's negative, we go positive. Okay, that's how we work question tags. The other thing we need to remember is that it's going to depend on the auxiliary verb. So, for example, he drinks, doesn't he? So we have the negative, but now, because it's third person singular, it's does and not don't. Now it's does, but it's negative does, doesn't he? He drinks, doesn't he? And the opposite, the negative, he doesn't drink, does he? Negative here and a negation, and so we have the positive for the question tag. And then it gets interesting. So the first thing, we have it here, right? Positive one side, negative other side. Negative one side, positive other side. That's number one. The second thing, it has to be the same auxiliary verb if there's an auxiliary verb. So when we have to be, we have to use to be. It can't be, so as you can see here, you're Brazilian, positive, aren't you? Negative. I cannot say, I want to make this very, very clear. We cannot just always use do. If it's to be here, it has to be here. It has to be opposite, negative to positive, positive and negative, and the same auxiliary verb. You're Brazilian, aren't you? Not. You're Brazilian, don't you? No. You're Brazilian, aren't you? You aren't Brazilian, are you? You aren't Brazilian, are you? Whoa, hi there. Question, okay, continuing on with can. With can. You can go, can't you? So that has the two parts, opposites, and so opposite, negative to positive, positive to negative, and the same auxiliary verb, can and can't. You can go, can't you? You can't go, can you? Okay, now what I want to do is I want to quickly work on pronunciation here, because pronunciation here is different if it's a positive with a negative question tag or if it's a negative with a positive question tag. And we're going to do this real fast. I'm going to open up the microphones. Okay, and what we're going to do is this. If it is a negative question tag, meaning the end is negative, it's going to be he drinks. He drinks, doesn't he? He drinks, doesn't he? Okay, everybody, he drinks, doesn't he? Now, if it's a positive question tag, it goes down. So doesn't he went up. Does he goes down. He doesn't drink, does he? Everybody, he doesn't drink, does he?
He does drink, does he?
Okay, so aqui é does he. Todo mundo abre os microfones, porque isso é importante, eu quero ouvir. So, primeiro, negative goes up. So he drinks, doesn't he? Everybody, he drinks, doesn't he?
He drinks, doesn't he?
Does he?
Good. Now, it's the opposite. He doesn't drink, does he? So, começa em cima, vai para baixo. He doesn't drink, does he?
He
He does drink,
He
does he?
doesn't drink,
Does he?
does he?
Does he? Senhor Nonato, does he?
Does he?
Good. Não, senhor Renato, a coisa inteira. He doesn't drink, does he?
He does drink, does he?
Não, foi para cima, como a de cima. He doesn't drink, does he? Does he? De cima para baixo. Does he?
He does drink, does he?
Does he? Ok? Nós vamos ter que praticar um pouquinho. Vamos fazer aqui com to be. Everybody, you're Brazilian, aren't you?
You're Brazilian, aren't you?
You're Brazilian, aren't you?
Agora, you aren't Brazilian, are you? You aren't Brazilian, are you?
You are Brazilian, are you?
Good, perfect.
You are Brazilian, are you?
Ei, daí, Nonato, that's better. Agora só faz isso no doesn't e tá certo. Agora, com can, you can go, can't you? Everybody, you can go, can't you?
You can go, can't you?
Can't you?
Agora, o contrário, you can't go, can you?
You can go,
Can
can
go,
you?
can you?
You
can't go.
Can't you?
Yeah, cuidado que eu tô ouvindo can. Tem que ser can't. You can't go, can you?
You can't go,
Can't
can
go,
you?
can you?
Can you?
You
Good.
can't go, can't you?
Good. That was better. Good. Okay. And now our bonus. Dun, dun, dun. You made it to the end. So here's the bonus. The bonus is how we can cheat. O jeito de trapacear question tags. Agora que nós aprendemos tudo isso, tem como trapacear em muitas situações. Com right. Right significa o quê? Certo. Certo. Tá certo. Good. So, olha o que nós podemos fazer tanto na afirmação quanto na negação. You want to eat, right? You don't want to eat, right? Muito mais fácil. Ok? So, se não lembrar dos question tags. Agora, tem várias coisas. Eu diria provavelmente centenas de coisas que nós aprendemos em nosso curso que você não tem que falar, mas você tem que ouvir. Por isso que nós falamos tanto desses question tags, porque a maioria dos norte-americanos vão usar os question tags mais do que right. Você pode escolher usar right. Pode trapacear à vontade. Mas nós usamos mais os question tags. Então, nós temos que estar ciente dos question tags muito bem para o nosso listening mais do que nosso speaking. E por isso, várias coisas você pode pensar, mas se não é, tem esse jeito, esse atalho mais fácil, então por que nós vamos aprender o jeito mais longo? Mas é por causa disso, porque tem várias coisas, principalmente phrasal verbs e outras coisas, onde os nativos, os falantes nativos vão usar a forma que não é o mais fácil de lembrar. And that's all, folks. Okay, perfect. Good timing. My goodness. Então tá, gente. Essa foi a lição 38. Espero que você tenha gostado. Se não gostou, sorry. Mas nós temos, acho que nós temos 38 em sala de aula também, que você pode assistir. E não esqueça de dar o like e também compartilhar com amigos. Essa, como você pode ver, é a 38ª lição. E nós temos, acho que agora nós temos todas as lições até 38, fora daquela 37 que eu vou colocar, se Deus quiser, ou hoje, amanhã, ou antes de eu morrer. Então, se Deus quiser, vai sair a lição 37. Muito obrigado por nos acompanhar mais uma vez. Eu sou o professor Willy. Keep studying and don't